official party station. This is the number one hip hop and R&B station. Let's get this party started. 953 Jams.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I am David Austin, and welcome back to the Morning Drive with David Austin and Cheryl Underwood Radio, heard exclusively on Houston's Home for Jams. That is 953jams.com. Ladies and gentlemen, what you heard was my girl. That was I Got You by my girl, Kate Nice. I told you she was going to be in with us this morning, and here she is. Good morning. How we doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. Glad to have you in studio this morning. It took a little bit of doing, but now you are here. I'm glad that you are. And so let's get into it. I love the song.
Thank you.
I really did. And so I get a lot of, how should I say, requests.
Yes.
For people that say, oh, I have this music, and I want you to check it out, maybe play it on your program. And I will be honest with you guys. I mean, I love my people. I love Houston. I'm Texas born, Houston bred. I get it, all that.
Okay.
But some of that stuff I can't use.
Yeah.
I love my people, but some of that stuff I can't use.
Yeah.
And so when you sent me the song, I started playing it while we were conversing, while we were corresponding.
Yeah.
When you sent it to me, I was sitting there at my
Really?
desk,
Okay.
and I pulled it up. So I'm listening to it right there, and I'm like, wow, I like this. And I remember at the end, because I told you about this, I was like, wow, I like the guy that's rapping on there. He's got like a Grand Poobah kind of feel to him. And then you tell me that's actually him. So let's get into that. One, I love the song, so I like that. And I didn't realize you had been doing it as long as you said.
Yes, I've been recording since 2010.
Right. So let's talk about, what that was like when you first began, and then let's take us to where you got to the point where you're actually doing music with somebody like Grand Poobah.
Yeah, I recorded my first album, Expressions of Life, in 2010, and it was kind of a garage, kind of, winging it type of album.
Some of the best music.
And some of the best music, because I wrote it, and it's kind of sentimental, most of the songs on the first album. And then I went into my second album, The Neo Improv, in 2014. I released that. And then I recorded the last 2 years and released One People, One Love. And the song I Got You with Grand Poobah is on there. And I ended up hooking up with him by way of him visiting here. I think he was at the Alley Cat.
Okay.
Yeah, and I ran into him, and we spoke and ended up conversing, and he did the verse for me. So it turned out good. I can't believe I'm on the song. It's like almost like a dream come true. He was on What's the 411?
I was about to say that. Because I like Grand Poobah, and he's a guy that kind of gets lost in the shuffle when it comes to rap artists and lyricists.
Very special though. He's a hip hop pioneer. Very special. Been in the game a long time.
Man, because I really enjoyed what he did with Brand New being back in the early days, and he struck out on his own. But most famously, probably known for the song with Mary J. Blige, 411.
Yes.
And so for him to do that, and like I said, that's probably what he was most known for. If you think about Grand Poobah, if you ask the general, hip hop and R&B fan, they probably know him more for that than his solo project.
Yeah.
And so with that, knowing that if that's what he's most known for now, okay, there he is. He's got a verse on your song.
Yeah.
So that puts you in some pretty elite company.
Yeah. He's pretty cool though. He's down to earth, he's really down to earth person. You can talk to him. He's not, he's elite, but.
Right. But I'm just saying, but that puts you, on a list with a short list of individuals that have been able to do a song like that with Grand Poobah.
Yeah,
and so,
it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It really is. I mean, I tried to do a little duet just like he did with Mary J. Blige, and it came out pretty good for a 2019 Khalila K. Nice version.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Was the song already in the works, and then you were able to get Grand Poobah, or did you actually create the song after you met him?
I created the song. It was already in the works.
Okay.
Yeah, and I sent it to him, and he heard the first verse and stuff, and he just added on there.
And see, and that right there, I like that even better. Because we're not talking about a situation where you met him and then you decided to do some sort of collaboration and then you put something together for him. I like the fact that you already had the song in the work.
Yeah.
So this is already K-Nice. K-Nice is already, I'm here. This is why.
Oh yeah, it was already written out along with other songs on the album. I have a co-writer on this album, One People, One Love, with Amir L. And so we collaborated and we co-wrote on this album and made it happen. And it was I really made this song. When we wrote this song, we were thinking about my cousin, Emerald. She got married up in D.C. And, young love, they're in their 30s and they got married. So we kind of wrote it, as inspiration. They were our inspiration for writing a song. Yeah.
How much of you is in each song?
For the third album, pretty much every song. We went into depth. You know, when
Right.
you are co-writing with another person, you really have to get into each other's minds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we did. We spent hours and long nights within the, mid hours of the night writing music, and vibing together, and it came out good.
So if you are your music and your music is you,
Mm-hmm.
when I listen to this album, what am I going to learn about K9?
You're gonna learn that I go into deep thought sometimes, and I can also be a lot of fun as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot to say when it comes to injustices in the world, love, life, pretty much. All of my albums kind of revolve around love, life, and injustices within society.
Right.
Yeah.
I talked on a program on yesterday. I played a Heavy D song,
Okay.
Ask Heaven.
Ah.
And when you get down to his later music that he was making before he passed away, he had a much different sound than he had in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was more bounce to the ounce and
Yeah.
big time, a lot of dancing and moving around.
Yeah.
But life began to happen.
Really?
And so life started his life, and the things that he had experienced started to show in his music. How much of K9's life is in his music?
Pretty much my whole life. I mean, I don't know. I don't get that personal when we tell stories, but it's a creative story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, songs are creative stories, and that's kind of how I look at it. But it stems from a truthful place,
Right.
and experiences within my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can find a lot of me in my music, especially my earlier music.
Right.
Yeah.
But K9 is a big girl now. She's
Yeah,
been
I'm
in
a
the game
big
for a
girl
minute.
now, so we're just writing to sell hits. We're looking for a hit. We're writing hits now.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I tell you what, the other song that I got a chance to hear, from you that you sent me, the one that you mentioned, One People, One Love.
Yeah, that's the name of the album, One People, One Love.
Mm-hmm. And so I noticed that when I was playing the song, when we went into the song, the first one, I Got You.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't tell you that I was about to play the song. I just started it up.
Hey, you're very special because I'm not even promoting that song right now. But since Pooh was on it, then go ahead.
but just the reaction that you gave. Well, I love the reaction that you gave. It was almost like you were surprised to hear your own song at that moment. And then I like the way you were grooving to your, to your
Yeah, I
music.
love it. Like, I love my songs, and my greatest joy is sharing it with other people.
Right.
And letting them hear it and them liking it. I know it's good, but I want other people to really listen and enjoy it. And, that's kind of, I make music for my audience.
Right.
I don't necessarily make it for me to keep listening to.
Who, if I were to listen, to your music, like when I heard the first song and I said, wow, that guy has a Grand Poobah type vibe, not knowing that was him. If someone listens to your music, never having heard K9 before, who are they gonna think of?
People usually think of like Erykah Badu, and people compare me to Jill Scott, all the neo soul, a little Chrisette Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm come to find though that I really do have created my own sound, which I'm very proud of. I go back and I listen to those artists I've just mentioned, and I do sound different.
You do.
It's
You do.
not. I really don't sound like anyone. I'm starting to really sound like Khalila.
I like that. You know what? And I like Khalila. And the thing is, I tell you what I appreciate about that moment. For those of you I know listening to us on 95.3 Jam, so you can't see Khalila as she's saying that. But when I said, who do you think of? Who are people going to think of when they hear you? The look on her face, she's like, well, this is what people say. But
Yeah, they do. They've been calling me Badu since high school. Going through the breezeway. I attended Jackie Yates High School.
Okay.
Fly, third ward, the greater third ward. But through the breezeway all through high school, that's all they call me is Badu. Badu, so.
I like the fact that you're a homegrown product. I didn't go to Yates. I will say this about you people from Yates. Y'all are certainly proud of y'all high school.
Yes, we are.
Which is wonderful.
Yep, and I went to U of H.
I love it. I love it.
Cougar.
Of course, only thing that I would like is for some of the people that went to Yates, y'all stop acting like y'all got drafted to go to Yates. Your family just lived over there. You know, these guys talk like they were like a first round. Jace picked me in the first round. That's not how that went.
Nah,
You just lived over there.
It's a jungle out here. You gotta get initiated to go to JY. It's a jungle.
Yeah, just get through the 8th grade.
Just for alliance. Yeah.
But I like the fact that you talk about, and you mentioned social issues, social problems,
Yes.
injustices
Yes.
that take place in this country. Those are things that I talk about on the program routine.
Mm-hmm.
How much does it mean to you to create a platform where you can actually express your thoughts and feelings about that and represent the people that are voiceless in those moments?
It means quite a bit to put my tidbit in or whatever I can do to help ease the injustices within our society. My music, One People, One Love, is kind of representative of that, the injustices in society. So when you listen to it, it's kind of have another song too. They're talking about immigration and all the things that's going on there. So it means a lot to me too. I guess get within society and kind of do what I can, whatever I can contribute. I know right now my music is what I can contribute. I am always looking for other ways to be involved in and make some type of, change and impact.
Right. Okay. Omari Records.
Yes.
Entertainment and distribution.
Entertainment and distribution independently.
Independent. How important was it to you to be able to work with people that were willing to allow your voice to be what it is? Is there a record deal out there that changes the things that you say that you would accept?
No. I don't think there's a record deal out there that can change me.
Right.
I guess I'm good being an indie artist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that in love with the fame.
Right.
It's more about my art. And that's where I want to be appreciated the most. A little money wouldn't hurt. I'm a teacher, so I make my money that way. I have fun teaching during the school year, and then I go, and on the side I do my music, and in the summer I can release like this.
Right. I like that. Say you're a teacher, so being an educator, how much of Kate Nice gets into the classroom?
A lot. Well,
because I know they hired Khalila. We know that.
Yeah, but my administrators, they know me. They've learned about me and what I do on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I kept it a secret a big long time, but.
So what age range do you teach?
I teach 3rd grade, elementary. Yeah.
Oh man, back when they're just so beautiful
yeah,
and wide-eyed and innocent.
They're very
and all
impressionable. I play my music for them, but I don't tell them who I am.
Really?
No.
So I was gonna ask. That was gonna be my next question. So do they know?
They know who I am, but they don't know who I am.
Okay. Right.
I'm just their teacher, but I do play my music for them, and it mostly relaxes them. My music is very relaxing.
I would agree.
And so I find that playing my music sometimes helps them relax in the classroom and creates an environment in the classroom that's more calming.
And so when you say they don't know who you are, I understand what you mean by that, but is there ever going to be a time where you're going to whip out the album or show them the poster and be like,
I've only done that for my high school.
like, check your girl out,
when I taught high school, I told my high schoolers.
Right.
But I teach elementary mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But last year or 2 years ago, I was teaching high school over at Hightower High School, and they knew about my song "Pull Up to My Bumper" off the second album, Neo Improv, and they were screaming it all over the hallways. They put it in their yearbook and everything. The band played it at their games, So they can handle it.
Up.
Yeah, they can handle it. The older kids can handle it, but my younger kids, I don't need the extra.
How did it feel though? But how did it feel though to know that you had a style and produced music that children that age, that listeners that age, actually appreciated it and felt like they could relate to, and it was something that they wanted
It
to
was
do?
amazing. I mean, just to have both high schoolers recognize me, and their social media buzz is way crazier than ours.
Right,
like,
right.
If they press it one time, share it one time, like all of the high schools have it. So
Right.
that's kind of how it went.
Right.
They were kind of like my promotion buzz, but in the young audience. But it feels good to have them. I can't believe they recognized me within their yearbook and everything that year. It's monumental. It's something I can go back and look at, and I appreciate it. I guess I'm pretty cool to them, I guess.
Yes, you're pretty cool. Well, I tell you what, K-Nice is really cool to us here, to me, David Austin, here on the Morning Drive. But I tell you what, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a little bit of a break, if we want to call it that.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to let everybody listen to One People, One Love.
Okay.
The title song off the album.
Yeah.
We're going to let them take a listen to that. Then we're going to come back and we're going to pick up the conversation from there. We're going to talk a little bit more behind, some more of the inspiration behind that song. And then we'll go into where they're going to be.
953 Jams.
All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I told you we were only going to take a short break just so we can get a listen to One People, One Love. That is my girl, K-Nice. She's in with us. How we doing, Khalila, this morning?
I'm good.
I'm loving it. I love the fact we were talking off air, guys. We were talking about just how we came to be here today and playing, her music on the program.
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing, reaching out to you on Facebook because I saw that you were a musician.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if you have radio ready music, let me hear it.
Yes, thank you so much. It's very rare that somebody comes to me, and requests the music, and it's good that you notice. So thank you so much.
Well, and see, and that's one of the things that makes doing the program enjoyable, because I get the opportunity to extend that offer out to people like yourself, independent artists, people who are socially aware, socially conscious, people who don't mind using their platform to speak up for others.
Yes.
And that seems to be a big deal for you. When who was it, that individual?
What?
Whether that be friend or relative or whatever, who was that individual that was the most excited for you when this first started to happen? That one that was there, that for that whole ride, the one that was like, I knew it, I knew you could do it.
I think my co-writer. My
Okay.
co-writer, Amir L, was there
Mhm.
throughout the whole process of creating this album, which
Right.
took about 6 months,
Mhm.
6 or 7 months to write the whole album.
Right.
And he was there, he was excited because we got a chance to really collaborate and write.
Mhm.
The producer of this album, Jerry Muhammad 2G,
Right.
he's a great producer. He was excited about it. He travels from here to Port Arthur, Texas is where he's really from. He's a multi-platinum producer. He was one of the last producers to produce with Whitney Houston.
Mhm.
So I think he was excited. I'm excited. Just
Right.
the people that I had a chance to work with on this album, I think I'm the most excited about it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I work with Amir L, the co-writer, and Jerry Muhammad 2G is the producer of this album. I also have features on this album. Grand Puba, DJ Icy Hotter, Street Military
Right.
is on the
Okay,
album.
Street Military.
Yeah, and also Cal Wayne, he's a rapper out of Houston, he's on the album too.
Okay.
So just the people I got a chance to collaborate with, made me so excited about this album. It really
Okay,
did.
so let's fast forward and let's just say, in my world, you're a winner. So let's say, you're on stage and you're being, recognized for your music. What is that? When you start thanking people, what does that list sound like?
People like that are already, on a major scale, like the artists that have inspired me throughout these years just
Right.
to become a singer at a young age, especially Mary J. Blige. Like, I listened to her so much when I was younger,
Right.
and she just got recognized on the, what was it, Essence Festival or
Right.
something.
And then
one of
they
those
honored her at the
shows,
BET
yeah, at
Awards.
the BET Awards, they honored her, but it's just all coming back tenfold, and it's really a blessing. It's unbelievable.
Well, that if you're talking about inspirations, I don't think you could do much better, than the queen of hip hop.
Yeah, I got
Mary
that
J.
close. I'm a little close.
You know, what
I'm
I'm
a
saying?
little closer.
So you have that, all the way back, Real Love, and I remember Reminisce was one of my favorite songs of hers. When she first came out, I remember that first album, and to see her stand the test of time, I like the fact you say that was one of those people that inspired you. So when was that moment? This is a question I ask everyone when they come on the program. Doesn't matter who you are.
Whitney Houston was too. Whitney Houston is one
Loved
of those
Whitney.
people that are just so close. They're like angels almost.
Right.
Rest in peace to Whitney Houston. I learned how to sing in 6th grade. My 6th grade teacher told me to sing "The Greatest Love of All" by Whitney Houston. And that's when I knew that I could sing. And then here I am 20 years later, and I'm working with one of the last producers that worked with Whitney Houston. It's so weird.
But I love that because you know what? You actually answered my question. I didn't even finish the question, but you answered it because that is the question I ask everyone who comes on. When was that moment that you knew?
That's it right there. My 6th grade teacher, Miss Phillips.
So she knew first.
Yep, she used to chew on pralines with her Jerry. We used to get a laugh out of that, but she noticed, me as a child, and asked me to sing at the 6th grade graduation, "The Greatest Love of All" by Whitney Houston. And
big shout out to everybody.
Big shout out to Miss Phillips eating them pralines and telling me to sing.
Big shout out to everybody making peanut candy, praline candy out there. Everybody with an aunt or a grandmother who makes the peanut candy. All the elderly people, that still bring that to the office Christmas party. I can't eat from everybody, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, as a child, and then I think a lot of people that raised me within the community, like I'm telling you, I grew up in the Shape Community Center over with Lloyd Parker.
Right.
He inspired me a lot. They put us on stage and prepared us for this. I've been on the stage since I was like 5 or 6, just doing poems and just getting ready for the stage. So if it wasn't for that organization and the Shape Community Center, along with others, people, I wouldn't really be inspired to get on that stage.
Right.
But I've been doing this for a long time since I was a kid.
You mentioned growing up in the Shape Community Center, and I don't know if you are aware of the situation that just happened on Friday of last week in Louisiana. 75-year-old Sadie Roberts, the curator, the founder of the Odell Williams Now and Then African American Museum, died at the hands of one of her tenants, suffocated, put in the trunk of a car, left on the side of the road 3 miles from her home. Growing up, like you said, growing up in the Shape Community Center, a place not unlike the place that Miss Sadie put together in Louisiana. On top of being an individual who speaks about social injustice and the things that are taking place in our community, how does hearing news like that make you feel when you see something like that? Not just that it happened, but that it happened within the community and that it happened at the hands of one of us.
I know, it's terrible. It makes me, really angry.
Right.
Because it's only because younger people don't know who some people are and how important they are. They're like pillars in the community. And it's very important as a young person to reach out to all of the organizations within your community that you see helping younger disadvantaged children and communities, to reach out to them so you can see who these pillars are, so you won't be making mistakes like that. I mean, it doesn't matter. You do that to anybody, it's bad, but I don't believe they knew who they were.
Right.
What they were doing.
Right.
It sounds like, a young person that was not knowledgeable about who he's attacking.
Well, actually, they made an arrest in the case, and it actually was an individual. Turns out he was a tenant in one of her properties, so he knew exactly who she was.
That is terrible. Some people are just heartless.
It is a tough thing to deal with.
It's terrible.
And it's one of those things that it really it just takes you back. And I may actually be there for her memorial, which is coming up. I've been in communication, with the individuals there. I'll let you know. Let's move to this. Not so far removed from it, but I want to get your opinion about something else. There was a young man who was actually murdered at a Circle K store. He had just got off a shift at a Subway restaurant where he worked, and he was standing at a soda machine, and a gentleman walked in, stabbed him in the back, slit his throat. When he was apprehended by the police, he said that he did so because the young man was listening to rap music in his car when he pulled up. He says people who listen to rap music are dangerous, and he felt threatened, and so he felt that he had to be proactive and do something about that before he was put in danger. Being an artist and then being socially aware and conscious of the things that are going on in this world, how does it make you feel to see someone try to take something like music and throw it under the bus for their own selfish purposes, knowing what you put into music, what it means to you, knowing how music, when you say, I play it for my kids, and the way they feel about it, how does it make you feel when you hear someone try to blame something as beautiful as music for what it is that they do?
I don't like the feeling. It is, that person is misguided. Mm-hmm. And I listen to rap music, a lot of rap music. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't make me want to kill anyone. Right. So I always, you can see me posting on social media, how to listen. I always hashtag how to listen, next to music, because I listen to so much music, right, especially Tupac Shakur. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people would probably say that he has violent music and right, it incites violence, but there's a certain way to listen right, to music. And if you know how to listen, then you can hear the message. Mm-hmm. And so that person probably was just really misguided and really doesn't have a love for music or a keen sense of what the message is within, a song could be. Right. And so no, I think that's wrong. I really do. That's not a good thing.
Not a good thing at all. No. All right, so let's go here. Let's go to the future. Mm-hmm. Okay, the album, you said, that's the title of the album, One People, One Love. When are we gonna get our hands on that album, and when are we gonna get to see you perform some of these songs live and in living color?
Well, I have a couple of things in the show. In place in the near future to perform. But I'm mostly right now creating visuals mm-hmm, for the song, so I'm kind of focusing my energy there where I can just put together a visual for the song. So people like to see stuff. Right. So, you can catch me on my social medias at KhalilaKnights.com. You can go to my website and I'll post things there for future events or mm-hmm, any shows that I'm doing.
Give it to him again.
KhalilaKnights.com. It's KHALILAKNICE.com. Mm-hmm. The album is now available at my Bandcamp site. If you go to KhalilaKnights.com, there's a link there and you can purchase it there. The physical copy is also ready and available. I'll send it to you, or you can digitally download it.
That is awesome. I'm loving that. You know what? I can't keep it forever. I wish I could have, but I love the fact that you were able to come in this morning. My girl Khalila K. Nice, thank you so much for coming into the studio and giving me some of your time this morning.
No problem. Thank you.
You got a promise to come back?
Yes, of course.
And when the tour and all that stuff starts to happen, I need good seats.
Yes.
I love it. I am David Austin. You're listening to The Morning Drive with David Austin, the show Underwood Radio, heard exclusively on Houston's Home for Jams. That's 953jams.com. And I'm in with I'm telling you, the one and only Khalila K. Nice. That great album, One People, One Love. You find her on social media and you get your hands on that great music. I tell you what, we're going to take a break. And we're going to do that break. I'm going to let you guys hear that song again. I'm going to play it again. I love the song. We're going to play it again. And then we're going to come back and continue the greatest morning show in the land. I am David Austin. Everybody, don't go away.
I know you're living